Welcome back. So who is in your circles? This is courtesy of the Boys Club conversation that Jeff Kwenange and his friends had on the bench. It's been a conversation during the week on social media and beyond. And we have a panel of men right here with us in studio just to hear from them directly. Kibe, you're holding the microphone, rather.
And I was complaining.
And you were complaining during the break. But here's the thing, Kibe, before you even give your point, I'd love to know from you personally, you're a media personality. How do you, and like you said, you have probably thousands of followers online and on Facebook and in real life as well. So how do you know your true friends, being someone who is a media personality?
It's impossible for me right now to know who is a true friend, because I don't know who's coming because of where I am right now, or who's just wants to hang out. So this panel of boys here, if one day we can just be honest and have a real conversation, we would agree that everybody has changed friends maybe 10 times over.
True.
Okay? All our friendships are situational. Don't ever kid yourself. I'm not trying to bash friendships. There are some friendships that are going to take you to the next level. Right? And there are some friendships that are going to destroy you. But they're situational, based on what you're bringing to the table.
Right.
If you're bringing nothing to the table, nobody wants anything to do with you. Even these guys who come and go to Suzuki Bira to give aid, it is out of a selfish need in themselves, not to give. It is a need they're meeting in themselves. The psychologists will tell us.
Yes, and Dominic, that's the thing. Let me come to you.
Yeah.
Is it?
Let me finish.
Yeah.
Right? So, as long as we know that every time I'm sitting with the Kua, people call me because they think I'm a funny guy and I'll sit and make jokes and they can buy me all the alcohol they want. But it is out of their own selfish need, not because they want to please me. You get my point?
You're coming as entertainment.
Every time you go even to your mom's house, you're not going because of her. You're going because of you. So friendships are based on who you are. So it is a very selfish need that you're with this person as long as you need them. And the day you stop needing them, my friend, you'll stop calling them your wife, you'll stop calling them your brother, you'll stop calling them, you'll even start gossiping them.
Okay, so Dominic,
Yes.
as whether we like it or not, what Kibe has said, isn't it not true that you friendships, whether we want to admit it or not, whether you are, Holy Joe or not, that they are situational? I'm friends with Trevor, I'm friends with Dominic, I'm friends with Kibe because I know I'm getting something, whether I know it unconsciously or consciously, and vice versa. They're also friends with me, consciously or unconsciously, because they know they'll get something from Zinzi. So whether we like it or not, is it true that our friendships are situational?
For the same reason we choose the food that we eat. You don't eat anything, you don't put anything in your mouth because you know what to expect from that food. You're not using that food, it's because that food is good for you, right? It's so we're not saying conditional in the sense of manipulation. I think we're using the word condition, I think, both as if to mean manipulating. I'm not there to manipulate you, right? Now, see, when I'm talking to even individuals, I say, and this I've mentioned before, that you are going to start attracting people towards you who have similar values like you, or people who are playing to your insecurities. All right, so let's say women who are very good listeners, right, and they tend to attract very bad men because those bad men like to be nurtured. And so you find that very nice women are actually attracting sometimes very bad men who take advantage of their niceness, okay? But sometimes this niceness of women, it comes from their desire to nurture, and because many women tend to have this false idea that if I love him right, he's going to change or something like that, okay? So basically what I'm saying is, when you are with somebody, you are attracting them because they have similar values to you. They make similar choices to you, all right? And you are accepting them into your circle because you are also moving towards a certain direction and you want them to assist you in that direction. Not because you're using them, because it's a give and take. I'm giving my 100%, you're giving your 100%. If you're not willing to do that, then there's no point of us being together. It's not using.
Right. Kimani is quiet. And Ahmed, I'll come to you in just a minute because I saw you nodding to his point. Here's the thing, Eddie. I want to know. Let's talk about friendship and time. Is it a false narrative, the longer you've known someone, the stronger your bond is? Is that a false narrative when we equate a successful friendship with time and how long you've known someone?
A lot of things stand in the way to test that. And that's especially when one of the two friends has a challenge, is going through something that actually needs some deep level of concern from the other person. So a test would come for that to really, to sort of, for the lack of a better word, to verify that. If time does actually cement and hold together that friendship, and that's when these true tests come through. Either one needs help from the other, or both of them need help. Who is there for the other? how much are you there for each other? And that's when now you'll find out how authentic your friend is. You will not choose the challenges you're going through. You will not choose the problems that you're going through. And we are human beings. We go through the challenges we go through in life. But if it's on the basis of friendship, then I would see it fit when I'm having my challenges or my friend is having a challenge. I reach out to the best capability that I can. And that's where the test comes through. Time does, of course, can be tested in that way. But then again, what are your values that you hold together? What are the values that drive that friendship? That's very key. It's very important because that's what now you will base on how tight and close you are as that friend or as a boys club, as you put it. Because I think there's some values that would drive the strength, that tightness that you have as friends, either 5 friends or 2 friends. Values and authenticity. Yes.
Ahmed, your point? I saw you nodding as Dominic was
I
discussing.
mean, I think friendship, just like parenthood, has no manual, unfortunately. There's no reference book of how to choose your friends or how not to choose your friends. But like I said, I tend to be a positive person. And the narrative that the stronger you are with a friend, the stronger you bond, might be right and it might be wrong. There's someone that you meet for a week and they're like, wow, this guy actually is God sent. But there's also that humanity aspect of friendship. If you have friends who, like they said, like both of my friends said now, what do you bring on the table? If you think humanity, for example, and you a person who always sees the good in people, then you will have, I mean, I don't know if there's any other words apart from friends that we can use, but you'll have people that you warm up to. There's people who will warm up to you. So sometimes you're in a calling. For example, in politics, there are some people who are your friends for that period of time, the campaigning time. But after they got elected into office, you're no longer there. Your phone will stop being picked. And I have seen that. I've been in politics. I've campaigned for some people. And the moment they step into parliament or county assembly, they're no longer your friends. They have new friends, new members of parliament, new members of county assembly. So, but despite that, you'll have to continue to, it's not about surviving, but about thriving. Yeah. You'll have to continue with your humanity aspect, with your positivity. And then some people will drop and some people will stay. So it's about your values again, and what you stand for as a human being.
George, do you think when you hit 50, you'll have the same friends that you have right now? And because the idea of that question is, depending on whatever stages you are in life, just like the likes of Bob and Jeff, you know, will you have the same friends you had at 30, 20 when you're 50?
There's one guy I'm firing, but the truth is, as I said, I have grown. I'm not the man I was at 20, I'm not the man I was at 30. So what happens is that time allows people to see you as you evolve. Now, a true friend, I think where we're getting lost here is the definition of friend, because a true friend is accepting you as you. And of course, if you had time, you've seen my journey and you kind of accept the journey. And then there's familiarity. Familiarity looks like friendship. Now, there's also a possibility of bumping into someone who we connect. What is connection? We are all looking for a mirror. That's really what we are looking for. So we are looking for a mirror of what we aspire to. So if I'm aspiring to be a successful man, I will try be a friend of a successful man. If I'm looking, if I think I'm a handsome man, I will try look for handsome people around me. If I'm looking for a hardworking guy, we're always looking for reflections of either what we are or what we aspire to. That's what is helping us define. And that's why when we have a conversation and he speaks and I speak, and then there's that common thread. Yeah. And then we can grow the common thread. And what has happened is that then a true friend in that connection becomes and what Kibe is saying doesn't exist, is somebody who you can become totally naked in front of. So because you start opening one chord and one chord strikes, then you start giving him all the others. Now, so if I can open to you about my career aspirations, I can open to you about my travel, my everything, but I cannot open to you about my relationship and for you to respect it, then Kibe becomes right. Yeah. Because you are abandoning me in one aspect. So when we need to understand is this, that if we ourselves stop looking for validation from our friends. I say the fact that I can loan you money doesn't mean you can loan me money. Maybe I'm good with loaning money, but I'm terrible at repaying. It doesn't, we give conditionally. This is the using everyone is talking about. But and so as you get older, the beauty about beating 50 is you self-validate. Yeah. By 50, you should be, if the psychologists can tell us, you should be self-validating. And if you're self-validating, you stand, and whoever comes is your friend. Okay. Right? Yeah.
Let's bring in Kibe behind you, Dominic, then I'll come to you in just a bit. But Kibe, you say that this friendship is overrated. Do you think you are a true friend to someone? And if you think you're a true friend to someone, what makes you think you are? Why is that?
I'm not a true friend because there's some things if you do, bro, me, I'm out. Right? Yeah, there's some things you'll do. I mean, I'll draw the line and say, that one, bro, you're on your own, I've tried. Okay?
So then you don't even try and inspire them to change or try to...
Oh, no, that's your business. You know me, I'm not God. Eh? Yeah? I'm not God. I'm not come here to change people. I'm just come here to be, exist, get out. Okay? So how you are is based on what I need. Okay. So this is my friendship. Friendship according to Kibe 101. I choose what I don't have in my friends. Okay. What is inadequate in me, those are my friends. The ones who are going to bring that thing that I don't have. Okay? Like I procrastinate like crazy. Like crazy. You guys can sit like a crocodile for days. Just going to the loo and eating and watching Netflix, right? Or whatever it is you guys are watching. So I need somebody who's going to be the exact opposite of me. Who's going to push me to do a lot of these other things.
You see, you're looking for someone to push you. Do you push your friends? Do you inspire
Of course not.
them? You know, you say you're not God.
Of course not.
Fine, but
Again,
do you
remember,
do the same?
I said I'm not a good friend. Right? Me, I'm not there to inspire people. Me, I'm there to, you have something I need, let us use that. Now, unfortunately, and if you don't know this is all of us. Now, we don't want to accept that because you want to think you're a better person than you really are. You're not. You're an evil human being. Wow. We're all evil. We're all using each other for the moment that we have. Now, once we understand that, that's why even marriages, and that's why I respect Muslims so much, because for them when they're going to marriage, it's an arrangement. Feelings keep for your nyanye. It's an arrangement. This is what we're going to do. Right? Yeah. Same thing that even the Indians were able to do what? Were able to, with the arranged marriage. They knew these two people are going to be good together and they're going to get nice looking children. Yeah. You Kenyans came here, you are lied to, and you're now going for love. How many are breaking up?
So you don't even believe there's such a thing as love then?
No, love doesn't exist. Love is unconditional. Who can right now stand in front of a gun right now for you? Who?
Your mom?
Of course not. She's going to negotiate, but she wouldn't stand in front of the gun. She's going to negotiate with the gunman.
Would you stand in front of someone?
Of course not. I would not stand in front of even of my kids.
What? Kibe.
I'm trying to tell you, the selfishness inside the human being cannot allow us to be true to one another. But one day, maybe, we shall be able to tell the truth even on national television and say, friendships don't work. And because friendships don't work, then some things like marriages also might not work.
So what do you propose? People live on their own?
I'm saying that people just exist. Like now, Ikua, I've known him how many? Over 20 years. Yeah. Same thing with, I've known them, Kimani, for many years, but we shall meet, drink, nini. I know nothing about him. I saw about him on the internet. And I was like, oh man, he's so sad. Okay, now moving on.
And all this time you knew him?
Bro, so you whose wife has died? Oh, so sad, so sad. Okay, now what's on Netflix? You get my point? Yeah. Right? Because me and him are not in the same space. Coffin makers have friends who are coffin makers. Pilots don't hang out with anybody else but what? But pilots, because you hang out with somebody based on what? On your situation. The day you're parking boys don't hang out with Akina Bob, Akina Jeff. they hang out with other parking boys. Don't be lied to. You are right where you are because of your situation. The day your situation changes,
And your situation is your
you
pocket.
leave those friends there, you get new friends. Are we together?
Let me respond to
And you know,
Kibe.
Dominic, what
You
he's
know,
saying also makes sense because you said that when you realize you're in a group of 5 people and you're the smartest,
Yeah.
it's time to move away from that group.
Correct,
So
correct.
then it's all about you. It's not about the group. You're not trying to empower the group. You're
First-
trying to be empowered even more. That's why you're leaving that.
Let me respond. Yeah, I'm coming to that. But there's something he finished with, which is very key, that pilots hang out with pilots. So Kibe he has experience. You know, we don't judge the world as it is. We judge the world as we are. All right. So we don't see the world as it is. We see it according to the paradigms that we have, according to our beliefs. So if Kibe has experienced people who bail out, it's because he bails out, as he has mentioned. He's not going to stand for anybody.
But
So
he's confirmed it.
So
He
he's
says he's not a
confirmed
good
it. So his world is made up of people who bail out
Bailers.
and who have kind of built that conviction. But there's something that you mentioned. You know, look, I'm a Christian, so let me take this from a Christian perspective now. That even though Jesus loves us to death, and he says there's no greater love than laying down your life for your friends, he himself said, if you want to be my disciple, you better put your game together. Deny yourself, take up your cross and follow me. Okay, so Jesus is quite demanding also. If you love me, you've got to keep my commandments. Okay, so there is a certain kind of expectation, and this expectation is not just others; it's also for me. Like when you told me to come today, I had to wake up, and I'm not a morning person, but I had to push myself constantly. I am pushing myself towards a certain expectation. Now, there is a certain ideal we all aim for, to be people who are truthful, people who are authentic. But are we always truthful? No. Are we always authentic? No. Does that mean authentic does not exist? Does that mean truth does not exist? We live in that tension between lies and truth. That is our world. And maturity is that capacity to live in that tension of lie and truth, that weakness and perfection. Now, when I wait for a perfect person to walk into my life, I'm going to be a very lonely person. Because nobody is perfect. Everybody is living with a certain kind of imperfection they don't like about themselves, and they're trying to deal with, and so are other people. And so that meeting of imperfect people is what makes a perfect relationship. And do you know what kills at the very high, on the same statistical level as alcohol? Loneliness. Yeah, people who are lonely, and you can check this one out at your own good time. It's there. We have Google these days, and you can get on Google Scholar, and you find that people who are lonely die at the same level that people who are alcoholics. So it's not a joke, you know. It's not a joke, and come out of that. It's easy to put up walls and to build bridges, as we say, you know. So once you get hurt, it's easy to build a wall and say, you know what, I'm done. You know, this is it. I'm going to build a wall. But remember, if you're in a forest and you are running away from a lion and you find a cage and you go in there and you close yourself in there such that the lion cannot attack you, that cage has saved you. But once the lion finds out that it cannot eat you and goes away, right? And then you realize that you cannot come out of the cage. Now the cage that saves you becomes a prison. And you're dead. Not because of the lion, but because of the cage that previously saved you. So you've got to be careful about whether that which defenses you've made have also become your prison.
Right.
As I finish up, our African system, I don't know if it was all the cultures, there was the age set. You know, in our Kikuyu cultures, there was the rika, right? The men were grouped together according to their age, and they were given a responsibility, and they worked together. Now, what makes for friendship? It is that vulnerability of what he was mentioning about, and George mentioning about, the capacity to be accepted by opening yourself, knowing that even in my naked self, you know, I'll be accepted. And this is what we see in Adam and Eve. The moment they sinned against that, they became naked, and they realized their nakedness, and they covered their vulnerability, and then the lying and the cheating and
started. Kimani, we have to take a quick break, but I'll come back to you. But I'd also like to highlight how people can reach out, because there are also some men. I've gotten a few texts here and there. People want to share. How can they reach out? Is it a club where you stand and say, "Hi, my name is Trevor Mbija and I'm an addict"? Then everybody says hi, back in direct and speak. We'll come back to you in just a
I
bit.
don't think that's how
And
it
also-
works, but okay.
I watch too much
You watch too many movies. I don't think that's how it works.
Let's see what you're saying on social media. 22422 is the SMS line at Trevor Mbija at Zinzi K. Hashtag Daybreak. Bring them up so that we read a few of them real fast. Jacob Abere says what the panelists haven't spoken about is that the cycle one surrounds him or herself with might be of moral or immoral characters, thieves, con artists, crooks and engineers, doctors, etc. My cycle is my wife and my boy. That's family.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
So the
let's see.
narrative of a pilot hangs out with a pilot.
Yeah.
Still on Twitter, hashtag Daybreak, Mwangi Bobo, you say, nobody is obligated to inspire you. In this day and age, you either inspire yourself or you die with depression. Everyone has their problems and there are no friends. It's only when the convenience is over is when you know
Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Yeah, and it's like Zagadat. It's like, are we together with the way Kibe wrapped up his Franco Chari? And where did this guy Andrew Kibe come from? He's one guy who says things as they are and people think he is funny. He is real. Your volume goes up. Let's see another one coming through.
Still sticking on Twitter, we'll take a look at our SMS lines in just a few. Kennedy, you say, it's true friendships are majorly situational and companionship in existence. And the truth is, our modern setup is the longer you know someone, the deeper you expose their weaknesses.
All right. That is something Dominic will come into. The longer you know someone, the deeper you expose their secrets. Woodlore says, this is not factual. Kibe is probably talking about his own personal friendships. I have friends who have been going strong for more than 15 years. Our positions have changed, but we have remained strong. Okay.
Still on Twitter, hashtag Daybreak. Kibe is making a lot of sense. This is what Jack says. Friendship in this side of the Sahara is very fake. After school, I didn't have a job and I lost almost all friends, including my girlfriend, just because she secured a job before me. Now that I am somewhere, I am starting to get more friends back. Fake people.
All right. Very strong sentiments there. Let's see what else you're saying here. Veteran Karaoke says, if you ain't losing friends in your life, then you're not progressing. Simple.
Is that true though?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. This one is from Kandanda. You say, good discussion through, though gender imbalance. Don't worry, we'll have like this one next week, but for women. Friendships are brought about through interest and emotional satisfaction. If someone can't meet your personality needs, it becomes very hard to relate with them.
All right, a lot of feedback coming through our newsrooms. We'll try and squeeze as many of them as we can on the SMS's line. Hassan Gantal, Somali Kenyan artist, says friendship does not have an ethnicity, but it has an understanding and feelings. My opinion is my friend should be someone who doesn't just consider my today look, but also focuses on the future solutions with me, because there's a friend of time and a friend of life. Thank you for sharing this. It is very interesting and helpful to the community.
Beautiful.
Right.
Still sticking on SMS, 22422 is where you can text in. West, K West, you say friends are categorized, but changes with situations. Business friends, drinking friends, family friends, and so forth. Get broke or have some money, definitely will build some new friends and categorize them.
So on both extremes, whether you're broke or rich, you will bring some different friends. And you don't leave a name here, you say my friends are from a vast social background, but I love those who are from a humble beginning. All right.
One more, let's take a look at this before we take a commercial break. Okay, this one says, you don't say who you are on friendships and time. It works for some people and doesn't work for others. I think you either grow tighter or grow apart. We also have to consider that the time people change, or rather with time people change, and at most times we end up wanting different things. We are social beings. On the situation of friendship, there are those who are friends and they have nothing. They grow together and grow tighter.
All right, let's take that quick break. When we come back, we'll wind up starting from Kimani. See you in just a bit.